Hi. So, guys, welcome. Time to talk. T to T. So, this is something which I've been dreaming of for such a long time to do a podcast. I still haven't decided completely on the format of the podcast, whether it's going to be just my monologues or it's going to be guests and lives and so forth. But I think that's an ongoing process to think about. And I was very much thinking about the time when should I do this? Should I procrastinate and wait and plan for it, or should I just go with it? And then if the best time to start was yesterday, then the second best time to start is today. So I'm starting today. Yeah, as many of you know me, my name is Helmut. I classify and define myself as an athlete adventurer because I do sports, various activities with the main purpose of just doing them. I don't have a purpose to win something, to compete or achieve, only to my personal beliefs. Hence, I would classify myself like that. I'm a resilient seeker of truth, not that there's one unified absolute truth of anything, but I always like to question things. I always like to debate, discuss, and understand them, and so forth. So definitely a resilient seeker of truth. And as the third, I think, and the not most important, but the thing that takes up most of my time is I'm defined by my education and profession as a lawyer and as a commercial lawyer. Hence, for the last 10 years, I've been practicing law in different companies, countries, places, continents, and so forth. So, yeah. And basically, the start of the podcast, I think there's one really important thing to address, which is yesterday I spoke with one of my dearest people in my life, and she suggested me a topic. What is my why? And I really started thinking about it, and actually I didn't have to think that long for it, because I always, since ever I was a kid, I wanted to do something that is filled with purpose, and I always wanted and dreamed of leaving an impact, footprint, or mark in this world by the time I'm alive. And I never knew exactly what it would be. Would it be a profession? Would it be, I don't know, some activity? Would it be some goals or dreams that are going to be fulfilled? But I always knew one thing. I always knew that I want to help people in one way or the other. And I think this kindness in me to always see the best in people comes from my childhood. That when I was a kid in school, I was always bullied. I know that for people who know me for, I would say, last 14 years, would never think of me as the bullying, as the type who could be bullied in school, but that's a true story. I was bullied as a kid, especially in young age, and I think yeah, that's why I always wanted to help people, and always acted or tried to act kindly towards people. So yeah, I think also to this purpose and what is my why, um, is that I want to create a space and place uh, which is filled with kindness, love, openness, and no judgment. That a place and safety where everyone can be heard, everyone can be listened to, and there wouldn't be any judgment towards one another. And I think as to the last point of what is my why, is that it's just the process of doing. I always tried to find happiness in my life, and I always kind of failed miserably in one way or the other, until I learned some time ago that actually happiness comes from happening. It's a process. It's a process of never stopping, of doing, of trying new things, different things, and just being in that moment of doing. And I think when you start to enjoy that part of the process, a lot of things can bring you happiness. For example, for me, I did Ironman 70.3, which is 2 kilometers swim, 90 kilometers bike, and 20 kilometers running. And both on the competition day and throughout all my training, there was never a single day where I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not going to do this. And I think the most important part is that I just enjoyed every step of the process, every training, every failure on the training, every bad days of the training. And then on top, when I started the competition, I was very confident in swimming, because I had a lot of swimming lessons, especially in open water, and I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna nail it. The competition day, water is cold, I forget to wet my wetsuit, I get in the water, start swimming, I'm immediately in cramps, like next 10-15 minutes are miserable, I'm in dark water, can't see anything, turning my head to the right, to the left, like somebody kicking you in the face. But in all that adversity and all of those problems, it just felt nice. It felt nice, and I really enjoyed the process. I know there were moments when I cursed a little bit in the water, but the moment I finished the swim, Ironman was smooth sailing, because I knew that I got through that part. Bike wouldn't be a problem, and running I would just enjoy. And so I did. Basically, the bike and the running was just splendid, and I think it only came because of this enjoyment of the process. That no matter what happened on the road, on the trail, in the lake, you just accept it for what it is. And just deal with it right then and there. You don't try to plan it, you don't try to anticipate it, and that's it. And so I think my purpose of this podcast in a way is also that by maybe showing my experiences and stories, it helps you to improve your mindset in one way or the other. Maybe makes you realize something, think of something, and change something, or let go. So yeah, but most importantly, I'm doing this podcast because of me, to myself, because I'm far from being happy every day. I'm far and miles from any nirvana feeling, and feeling that everything's like just great. But what I am doing, I'm taking day by day my path, and different things just as they come, and try to make the most out of them. And I think this podcast is also going to be a way for me to continue growing, to continue improving myself, to continue asking and seeking for answers and questions, and trying to understand things, and trying to stay open-minded, always act with love, and be mindful about everything that happens around us or within us. And so all that is my why. That is my why I'm doing this. And this is me trying to give back. This is me trying to inspire, and this is me trying to create this open space where we can talk about everything and sometimes nothing. And if there's one thing I want you all to take away from today's, episode number 1, is just think about your why? What is your why? What is it that makes your choices? What is it that makes you to do something, to be something, to smile, to exercise? And maybe by just asking this simple question, what is your why? It will make you change things. Maybe sometimes understand them more. Uh, maybe sometimes just accepting them, or maybe dropping them and drastically changing something within you or around you. And whatever it might be, I think it is always, always so important to just ask, what is my why? So peace and love, and sending everyone good vibes, and see you next time.